Good evening, everyone. It's been a minute for me. I'm trying to get back into the saddle. This is my first time doing this on YouTube, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me because I'm not used to doing this, but I'm gonna try to do my best to pull it through here. Um, on my agenda, I want to start off with the Lord's Prayer. If you guys know the Lord's Prayer, we can say it together. Otherwise, you can just sit there and bear with me as I join through with it. Okay, here we go. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom and the power and the glory are yours, now and forever. Now I would like to say my own prayer that I have written. So I'm going to be reading it off of my script here. Um, Father God, we come to you in these times of trouble within the year of 2020. We have been given a great burden and high level of stress. You said through your word, if we call upon your name in both sickness, health, and massive distress, that you would provide us with the necessary tools to defend ourselves as well as to defeat our enemies. Lord, today we must hold you at your word for safety. We must hold you at your word of healing. We must hold your word of the armor of being protected as we are covered in your blood. You have taught us that you are the beginning, the middle, and the end. You have taught us to be fearless in the face of our enemy. You have taught us to rebuke the devil in 7 times of completion. You see, no man has posed himself can smile in our face and hold a stone in his back and call himself being a child of God. You are here to protect us and guide us, and we ask that you show mercy upon us because sometimes we know not what we do. At no time has God appointed man to be his partner. God has created the heavens and the earth and all that is in it. We will now do some rebuking before we get into the message for this evening. Father God, we ask that you rebuke these people in the name of Jesus. We ask that you rebuke whoever has created this thing called the COVID-19, which was to believe to be created by man. For the man that has demanded that we wear a mask, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. For the man or the woman that wears a black robe and passes judgment, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. For the media who has been providing false information to the public to keep everybody in fear, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. For all of the officers that is going around killing people and making up false laws and false rules as they go along with their day, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. For all who are protesting and rioting for their own selfish reasons, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. For every male and female who set out to kill, lie, steal, and destroy our health, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. For the ones who are creating this serum that they call a vaccination that are killing people. We rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Now we ask that all of this evilness and the devil to be returned to the fiery pits of hell from whence they once came, in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, I'm going to read a poem. I recently lost my cousin a couple of weeks ago, and this poem was originally designed for her, but I didn't get a chance to say it at her funeral. So this poem was taken off of YouTube. So I think I want to do a dedication to all of the ones who have lost a loved one due for whatever health reason or chaos that it has caused us this year. It is called The Tears. If tears could build a stairway, if tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I would walk right up to heaven and bring you back again. No farewell words were spoken, no time to say goodbye. You were gone before I knew it, and only God knows why. My heart still aches with sadness, and secret tears still flow. What it meant to love you, no one can ever know. But now I know you want me to mourn you no more. To remember all of the happy times, life still has much in store. Since you'll never be forgotten, I pledge to you today. A hollow place within my heart is where you will always stay. I want to say this is in for the loved ones that I have lost this year. And I want to send this poem out to anyone who has gone through this chaos that we have all been faced with. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm holding my microphone because I don't have a stand to make sure that it's in proper place for my table here. So gotta bear with me. I'm holding a microphone and working the dials as we speak. Again, I haven't been on radio in, oh my God, almost 2 decades. So this is really brand new to me again. But anyway, moving on, to give you a brief, for the ones who don't know who I am and what I'm about, I'm going to share some things before we get into the presentation for this evening. Within the 50 years that God has blessed me to be on this earth, I have done, oh my God, I have done so much community work. I have saved 120 Black men from the prison system. I have done a full decade of community service where I served on the board of directors for community policing. I have done one-on-one talks with city gangbangers to bring peace to a community of people. I have done almost 2 decades of being called the Queen of Radio when Blog Talk Radio and podcasting was first introduced to the general public. I have taught and trained 1,500 children to be respectable adults and how to love themselves when no one else can love them. It kind of made me think, before this corona thing came about, the children under the age of 7 used to call me their TT, and the older kids would call me their big mama. Well, it seems today that the world needs to have a big mama. Now, for the ones who don't know what a big mama is, big mama used to be our grandmothers, our aunties, our mothers. These were women that was in our lives that we had the most respect for. She never told us what she wanted us to hear. She always would tell us what we needed to hear. She taught us how to survive within this thing called a world. And from what I've gathered, It seems that we need to go back to that type of flavor. We need to go back and have Big Mama. So I'm going to be Big Mama for a little bit, if everybody don't mind. And on my first line of business, I'm going to tell you what Big Mama would tell you. Big Mama is going to tell you to sit your ass down. Um, I don't mean that in a joking way. I mean that with the utmost sincerity. It's time out for all of this foolishness that is going on. And I'm going to get all into that as I proceed on. Next in line, I want everybody to know that I'm going to be doing 6 more meetings via YouTube. This is to help everyone to realize and want to have a positive change to all of this chaos that we're being faced with. I'm hoping that my experience can help teach and train someone. I can't be in 1,000 places, so I decided to come on YouTube and address these issues firsthand. You know, as we have gotten on with this year, I got to thinking back to when my father, Mr. Willie Evans, he sat me down on the living room couch, and he had planted this very, very small seed. When he said to me, he said, Linda, someday you are going to be the voice that every man and woman needs to hear. And you know what? I did not understand. At the age of 7, I did not understand quite what he meant until now. Um, I didn't. I did. I mean, that it was just profound that here it is, 46 years later, and I'm talking to the general public about what's going on. It took a lot out of me, folks. I tell you, it took a lot out of me to come out of my radio retirement. But here I am. I'm going to be here for the next 6 weeks, taping shows and hoping that this message can be brought to a community of people to help them to get through these trying times. Over the next 6 weeks, I ask that everyone bring paper and pen, and because it's going to be a little bit of a long ride, the playtime is over, and the Queen of Radio's class is now in session. Also, before I get started, I need to give everyone who watches this program, I'm going to be giving everyone a free copy of my first ebook that joins me, or tell me that they took the time out to hear my presentation or my meeting today. You see, during this COVID time, I have written 4 books, and I've done over 50 movie scripts that I'm looking for help to get it on the screen and get the actors and the actresses back to work as soon as possible. Not only that, I have a band. For the ones who follow me, they know that I have a band called Sapphire's Blue Notes. We are a 14-piece band that does basically gospel and R&B and funk music. So they used to see us. They see, if you look through my channel, you'll see all of some of our old videos of where we were performing. So, but anyway, I've been extremely, extremely, extremely busy. So, and I'm going to do 6 more weeks of this, and hopefully somebody can learn from my experiences. Again, my first ebook is called New Justice, New Peace, the series 4,000. It will give detailed description on how we as a nation can regain our peace and get back to having the power in our hands. And we're going to talk about some of the racial history and possibly solutions. Anyone interested in getting my free ebook, please email me at atorclass101@gmail.com. I'm going to say it again. That's atorclass101@gmail.com. Copies of this meeting will be left and posted on the YouTube for everyone's leisure. So if you want to go back and replay it or stop it or whatever. After these 7 lessons, and I call them lessons, I don't, I'm not looking to be on YouTube to make it my fame. I'm only on here to provide some educational tips. And once this is completed, again, I'm going back to my writing and I'm going back to my music. And again, the band is itching and scratching, ready to get back on stage to do some more performing. So the band will be back in 2021 for many more shows to come. We ask that you stay tuned to this channel for the details as they become available. Now, I must read a disclosure before I continue on. For this video disclosure or disclaimer, all of the contents that will be expressed comes from my own personal research and personal experiences. No third party has been involved. Also, some of the contents of this program will be very graphic, so please be aware and be advised. I'm not the type of person who goes for sugarcoating things. So the truth is going to be as it has been presented to me. There needs to be some positive solutions to the chaos that we have been witnessing. I hate to be so blunt about it, folks, but this world is such a disgrace. And to start off with, I'm going to mention some of the some of the celebrities who have a celebrity status, have not came up with a solution. I try to follow the media. As I listen to the media has become more of the problem than they are a part of the solution. Starting off, I want to mention this. I want to talk about Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, I noticed how she made conversations about the white supremacy. But guess what? She still did not provide her followers with any possible solution. Then I tried to look around a little bit more to see if there was anyone that was on the bandwagon of finding some possible solutions. So I checked out Roland Martin. Roland Martin shows are all geared towards bashing Trump. Okay, we get that. I'm just going to be quite frankly with you. I could care less about both parties because two wrongs cannot make a right. We the people are so far away from the issues that it's really not funny anymore. We have this very large elephant in the room that needs to be dealt with. Who cares if Trump is doing this? Who cares that Joe Biden is doing that? We are so divided, folks. This is what I'm talking about. We are so divided because of the racial issues. We are divided because of the police killing. This list can go on and on and on. And I'm tired. And I'm pretty sure you're tired. So let's come together and try to find some positive solutions for this. Another person that's in the media, and I have the greatest respect for this man. I really do. I truly do. Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan is such a brilliant man with his great education. He has great knowledge about Black people and Black history of our people. But here's my problem with Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan's speech starts off on a real soft tone, and then he ends his speech with being over emotion. He becomes angry about white people. Now, don't get me wrong. He's justifiable in his feelings. But here's the problem though. We cannot change what happened in the past. We can only focus on what we can do for the future and hope that we can provide positive solutions that the ones who come behind us can help them for their journey. It can help our children. I don't have any children personally, but I think I adopted all the children in the school district. I call those kids my kids. So, but I still want to see a positive solution for them, because this is just not the way. Now, we as a nation of people, we are going to have to go back into the old school way of getting things done. What did we do back in the old school? We used to have paper and pen. That's what's going to help us, folks. We're going to need to go back, dig out that notebook, get out that pen and paper, and start writing. Yeah, I know it sounds boring, but it is what it is. And based on what I've learned in my life of living, truth is based on these common denominators. Truth is based upon the who, what, when, where, why, and how. If you don't have the basics, you don't have anything. It's just like, and I've said this in meetings with my personal friends and family. It's just like building a house. Folks, you cannot build a house without a solid foundation. A foundation has to have purpose. You have to know each and every component in order to build that house. Otherwise, that house is going to be built on a faulty foundation. And that's what we are dealing with right now, having a faulty foundation. We as a people are divided for 4 reasons. And I want you to write this down because I want you to take it to memory. I want you to hear what I'm saying to you. We are a people are divided because of politics, race, the media, and the questionable laws. And I'll get to that in a minute as to what I'm talking about. Now, I have my script here of things that I need to go over because I did say that I was going to talk about these things. I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. That's the reason why I'm holding my microphone because I don't have a microphone stand at this point. Like I said, I wasn't planning on getting up here doing this, but it seems to be that it needs to be done. I want to start off by talking about this COVID-19. I'm seeing with both black and white and all people of color, some people are believing in this and some people are not believing in it. So we got 50% people saying, okay, what's the real deal? And then you got the other 50% that's saying it's real and we should run and hide under our cars and take cover. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give you my version of what I have found to be truthful. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not looking for anyone to agree with me. I'm looking for people to hear the message and take it back and use it for their own good. Now, I want to start off with the COVID-19 and what I have learned. And like I said before, some of the things I'm going to talk about is going to be very graphic. So I need for you to be aware as well as advised. The COVID-19, from what I have gotten my own understanding of it, the COVID-19 was invented over 2,000 years ago. COVID-19 was not invented just recently. To my dismay, I found out that scientists did not have a name for the COVID, that what we call the COVID-19 today. They didn't have a name for it 2,000 years ago. They just knew what they found and they were trying their best to find a solution for it. Now, this goes back to white people. And I say again, I don't have anything against no color of people. I think we are all should be treated as one human being. But the facts are still going to remain. They found out over 2,000 years ago that white people have a skin disorder. Okay? White people have, they create bed bugs and parasites. fleas and ticks was created by the white person. Yeah, I know there's going to be some people that's going to dare to challenge me on this, but hear me out. They had found out that when a white person sleeps, this is when this is when the bugs are starting to create themselves. If you doubt what I'm saying, I want each person to get a magnifying glass and look at the sheet after the white person has gotten up from sleeping. You will find bugs, parasites, maggots, whatever you want to call it. It's still coming from white people. I'm sorry to say that. It is what it is. You doubt what I'm saying? Look it up for yourself. Now, in history, they were trying to find a name for this disease. They reported that they had to burn the beds that a white person slept in. See, this is all that the media don't want you to know. These are things that the media don't want you to find out about. But I'm here to tell you what I've learned. And I don't care about who knows it. You don't have to believe me. I'm not looking for you to believe me. I'm looking for you to come with an open mind and hear the truth that I found. Now, with this being said, they have discovered that white people are responsible for lice. Okay, they have to have medication and special ointments and special treatments to treat this disability. This is a skin disability. We're not faulting, just like white people fault black people for being black. We cannot fault you for you having the disability of a skin disease, a permanent skin disease. Now, God made you that way. He didn't make us to have a skin disease. He made you to have that skin disease. Now, black people over time has tried to help white people. We've done everything under the sun to try to get along with you. We've taken care of your children. We told you how to wash yourself, how to bathe yourself, how to clean yourself, how to do everything under the sun, and you still do not give us any respect. So now what? Still today, let me tell you what I've seen in the public. And this is also hasn't been talked about enough in the media, since the media is part of the problem and not part of the solution. I go to a public restaurant. White people go to the bathroom, they don't flush the toilets. Yes, this is still going on today, folks. They don't flush the toilets. They don't wash their hands. They go into the bathroom, they're playing, and I got to fix my long stringy hair, and the hair is falling all over. They use the air blower in the bathroom to dry their hair. They will pass by that sink each and every time and refuse to wash their hands. Why is that? Now, due to the fact that they don't wash their hands, they'll go to the sanitizer. They'll use sanitizer in place of washing their hands, as if that's going to get rid of the germs and the dirt off of them. No, it's not. So, white people, the reason why we look at you as being just naturally nasty. We've done all that we could possibly do to help you. Now it's time for you guys to help yourselves. You know, we can't teach you how to love yourself. That's another problem. You each. Now, don't get me wrong, because I know somebody's gonna get me about this, and I really don't care. White people as a whole, you hate yourself. You spew upon hatred. Why? Tell us why. Tell the rest of the world why. Only you have the answer for that. We can help you to learn how to get yourself clean. We can teach you how to cook. We can teach you how to do everything under the sun. But one thing we cannot teach you That's how to love yourself. See, loving yourself starts with the self, and you're not doing it. So you need to ask yourself why. I'm looking. I would, if I was standing in front of you, I would be saying the same thing. Why? Why are you so hateful? Why are you so degrading? Why is it that you don't flush the toilets? You don't wash your hands in public places? I have seen too many times you go into a restaurant, you eat off the spoon and put the spoon back into the food. Then I have to call manager over to throw you out of the restaurant. See, these are things that the media does not talk about. You guys are doing this behind the scenes, and it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. So the first question the first question that I need to ask white people: why do you hate yourselves so much to the point where you feel like you can hate others? Answer that question for me. Let's start the dialogue. Okay, now I'm giving a little bit of some history about this COVID-19. Another thing about COVID-19, if you break down the word of COVID-19, the C O stands for cold, ladies and gentlemen. The V in COVID stands for virus. The ID stands for identification for a cold virus that has been tested and tried for 19 times and failed. Now, they have shut down the entire world over a cold virus. Folks, we need to be asking questions. We need to be asking why. Because there are a group of people out there that's got their own hidden agenda. You know who I'm talking about. I don't have to say their names. You know who I'm referring to. So, I need for each and every person to start off. This is your homework assignment. Matter of fact, you know what? We're going to make that a homework assignment. And when I come back next week to talk about this again, I want to be able to answer some questions and I want you, why are they so full of hatred? That's my first question. That's your homework. And the second homework that I want people to do is get a good understanding about what this COVID virus is and stop living in fear. We are living in fear because if they tell you, if that good so-called people that's in charge of, the G word, if those people tell you to go jump off that bridge, I want to see how many people that's going to line themselves up to go jump off that bridge. Just because they say, oh, well, it's for your own good, ladies and gentlemen. It's for your own good. Poppycock. I want to say another word, but I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be respectful. I'm not going to. Usually, I would be cursing right about now because God is still working on me. But I'm not going to use any curse words. I'm going to refrain from saying what I really want to say. But for now, because there's a lot of people that has never heard me before, they know that I've done radio. They know that I've been a part of the criminal justice system. I've been a part of all of that. Did my civil duty to all of that. Now I'm trying to educate people as to what needs to go down and how we need to come together and to get it done. So the homework, again, I want some white person to answer why white people hate themselves so much. That's the first homework question. And the second question is find out about this COVID-19 on your own. Do not take my word for it. I want you to go out and find out why this is being the way that it is. Now, from my perspective, let me tell you what else I found out about now that I'm thinking about this COVID-19 stuff. I found out that the media has been lying about COVID-19. You see, Something in the milk is not clean. How is it that media can sit up and say, oh, we got 15,000 deaths? And then when I go back to the hospitals where they supposed to have this 15,000 deaths, guess what, folks? There's no death records. So how in Sam Hale are you going to sit up and say, oh, these 15,000 people died of the COVID virus, but you ain't got no health records and no medical records and no death certificates to support it? Can somebody please tell me what's wrong with this picture? I need for everybody to do homework number 3. Go to your local hospital and find out if this thing is real. Wherever you are, I don't know where you're at, wherever you are, find out if it's real and get your own truth to it so you can stop living in fear. Because that's what it's all about. That so-called government, they have a hidden agenda. And they're making their plans just as easily and very smoothly. See, what I don't like about the so-called whiz, I'm gonna call them the whiz. Because you remember back in the day, we had a movie called The Wiz where Diana Ross, and by the way, The Wiz was my absolute favorite movie. Diana Ross came to find out that her mother told her that she needed to get out of the house. Her and Toto needed to experience the world, right? Okay, so Toto runs out of the house and get up into this tornado of a whirlwind. And then she comes along and meets the Scarecrow, which was played by Michael Jackson. Then she meets the Lion and the Tin Man. And all of these things to go to the wizard, they were looking for validation. But guess what? The very thing that they had all along was within themselves. So profound. That's my favorite movie because it has such a message. It's telling us something through the art of movie. I mean, I was just profound. You went through all of this trouble. The Wiz, come to find out that it's somebody behind the board controlling the switch and wanting to control everything. See, my problem with that is, and you know what? I'm gonna get off. I'm getting off my course here. My bad. My thing is, we cannot live like that movie. We cannot let the Wiz come in and feed us a hokey dokey and think that it's okay. We can't do it anymore, folks. Because if we don't come together, they're going to make sure that everybody's going to be killed off, one way or the other. Is that what we want? Is that what we want? So, you got homework assignment. I want someone to come back to me with some of these answers. What is it that we want? What do we want to change? What do we want to see a change in? We need to go back to the old-fashioned way of writing it down and then sharing it with others to say, hey, this is the same thing you want. That's what I want too. So let's pull this together, folks. Because if we don't wake up, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And then you have nobody to blame but yourself. Let's start with ourselves. Let's be accountable for ourselves. This is where the starting point of this. Forget about the politics. You can come back to that. Well, as a matter of fact, we're all going to come back to that. We're going to over the next 6 weeks, we're going to talk about all of these things. We're going to break it down to the last common denominator because we need to be educated. We need to stop complaining. If you're not going to be part of the solution, that means you are part of the problem. And that's what we need to stop. Now, I'm starting to get emotion. Oh, gee whiz. I've had a lot of time to go over these thoughts within my head, and it's just profound. And so now I'm ready to talk to you guys. I'm ready for you to hear what's inside me. Because just like you're fed up, I'm fed up too. But we need to come together in order to fix these problems. These problems are not going to go away until each one of us be accountable and step up to the plate and make this project whole. Now, moving on, because time is of essence here, I don't want to be on everything for the whole entire night. If I have someone that's in radio queue, see, you see where my head is? If there's someone on the YouTube channel that wants to ask me some questions, I will ask or answer them. If there's nobody there waiting and they saying that they're coming back to view this channel, that's fine too. I don't have a problem with that as well. Again, to contact me, please contact me at atorclass101@gmail.com. That's atorclass101@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook. You can also find the band page on Facebook, where we talk about music and things and such. Again, I have 4 books that I have taken the liberty of writing, and all 4, well, not all 4, I take that back. 2 of my books will be are in the makings to be part of a movie. A lot of you have asked about my dad. My dad is Bernard Wilson. He was the original creator of the Blue Notes, the original Blue Notes. He was the one that was responsible for bringing Teddy Pendergrass to Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes with all of the wonderful music and the songs that you have heard. People have been asking me about that movie. Yes, we're still making that movie to answer your questions. But we're looking for funding for it. We can't put the movie out there until we get funding for the movie. So, and other movies that I'm also taking the time to write. But back on to our program here. I want to get back on point. Wow, I've said a lot, and I'm hoping that I can get all of this done within an hour or 2, if all possible. I want to talk about the history of race and how government has played a part in this. Now, I'm going to start off with the Constitution. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be upset with me for the stuff that I'm saying this evening, but I really don't care, okay? Because as I stated before, this is my truth as to where and how I found it. The Constitution of the United States was written by the white man. It was written by the white man for the white man. They had no plans on bringing any other nationality into forming a constitution with other races. It's not there. If you doubt what I'm saying, check it out. But here's my problem. See, I don't have a problem with rules and laws and whatever else you want to call it. I don't have a problem with you creating that because we need we need some type of structure. Okay, I get that. We need structure and we need structure in our lives. I mean, we need to have something to follow. But when the rules doesn't make any sense. Then you have to back up and say, wait a minute, no, that doesn't make any sense. You got to make some sense out of what you delivering to me. Now, here's where I'm kind of behooved. I heard this word on Facebook by somebody that was doing a comedy thing. He tickled me so bad I had to use that word, behoove. Anyway, what I'm behooved by the fact of this. The white man created the United States Constitution, and they had no intentions on inviting black people or any other race to that table when they were formulating all of this information that they came up with. My problem is, don't sit. See, I don't have a problem with you not inviting me to the party. I have a problem when you expect me to obey your rules when I was never invited to begin with. That's my problem. And I believe black people are getting upset for the wrong reasons. Okay? Yes, they are abusing us. They have used us. They have made us a part of their World War I, World War II, all of their Desert Storm wars, Korean wars, whatever war was based upon the white man's lie. They brought in blacks to fight their war from the troubles that they started. Now, with that being said, this is the reason why nobody wants to pay any attention to what you're saying, because your rules are not making any sense to the human person. And most people, and as quiet as it's kept, most people are saying, well, wait a minute, there was no black people or Asian people or any other type of foreign people when the Constitution was made. So who is this law? Who are they referring to? Who are you talking about? Why are you bringing me in on something that you created that you didn't want me to be a part of to begin with? Somebody explain that to me. Or maybe you should explain that to the rest of the world, because it makes no sense. Now, another question that I need to do as some homework, and whoever is very adventurous and like to research stuff and find out stuff, I need for you to research it and bring it to well, make it part of this. Now, part of the Constitution at there's a thing called fine print. When you have that little small fine print that says, wait a minute, what that say down there? We need to read that small print. What that small print say? Okay, why wasn't it applied? The small print, I'm saying. Why wasn't it, when it has been stated under the realms and the clauses of the Constitution of the United States, it clearly states that should each member outlives this Constitution of law, that means you have to bring up another Constitution to satisfy the people of that era. Why wasn't that applied, ladies and gentlemen? Why wasn't there another Constitution that should have been brought into making for all nationalities to be brought into play? Why wasn't it done? Somebody needs to ask that question. Why isn't there a Constitution that can be satisfied among all races of people? I'm just saying. Yeah, my mother used to tell me that. She said, Linda, you nosy as hell. Yeah, I am. I'm nosy as hell. Because in order for you to get me to believe the okie dokie, because right now you're Charlie Brown and you're wah 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 wah. Isn't that what Charlie Brown used to do on that cartoon character? Wah 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 wah. But that's what it sounds like today. You cannot bring me. See, I'm old school, folks. I'm old school. You just can't bring me anything and expect me to believe it until you can validate and give me some truth as to why this is in front of me. Why are you bringing this to me? Why are you wasting my time with this? Who created this? Where did it come from? Why do I have to listen to this? When is it going to be a difference? See, I'm setting up the foundation for this. So that's some more homework for you to do, folks. Find out why the Constitution had not been changed or advised to meet the masses of the people when it was clearly stated in the small print. See, we could have eliminated all of this fighting and bickering and going back and you said this and the black people said that and the white people said this. No, that could have been eliminated. This is what I'm talking about. We are so divided. We need to get back on course, ask the right questions, and deal with this elephant that is in the room. That elephant is not going to move, folks, until we decide to break that elephant down so we can move on and have a positive life and get back the liberty and the freedom back inside of our hands. But it's going to take your help. It's going to take my help. It doesn't matter whether you are rich, poor, or in between. We all need everybody's help with this. This is not a one-person problem. It's not. And I'm going to be saying this for the next 6 weeks. I want to see if anybody is really paying attention. I want to see if anybody's going to do the homework that needs to be done in order for the chaos to stop. This is what I want to see. I want to test everybody's intellectual, because I know we are the smartest people on the face of the earth. We just got to activate our common sense. If we see wrong, we don't want to do wrong. We want to make it right. Let's focus on that. Let's put to the side about whether you're black, white, Chinese, whatever, Mexican, Chicano, whatever you are. Forget all of that, because that doesn't matter right now. We are faced with this elephant in the room. The room. Now, moving on. I talked about how we are divided. I said there was 4 reasons why we are divided. The media only tells you, or I should say, the media only tells us what they want us to hear. Let me say that again. I don't think you heard me. The media is only telling us what we want to hear. Why didn't they tell us that white people have a permanent disease that only is activated at night? It's not activated in the air. It has to have a starting point. It has to have a foundation to be based upon. Why didn't they tell us that, folks? Now, they made a point to tell us how much white people hate us and how much the police officers are going around killing people. Anything that's negative, they broke their necks to tell us. But guess what? Some of that information is false. And I hate to say it, but the media needs to be held accountable for the lies that they have been telling the general public. We all need to get a class action lawsuit on the next person, the next media that comes up and tells us a lie just so they can have ratings, or just because they want to have money. See, we have the power, folks. We don't need to get angry. All we need to do is pick up the power of that pen. That's what we need to do. Pick up that pen and say, okay, you want to play games? All right, okay. Let's play this game. But we don't have to play it their way. We play it our way to where it's an advantage for us. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Now, Democrats Democrats, my next part is to talk about Democrats and Republicans. Here we go again. Did I not say that politics has kept us divided? You got Democrats and Republicans. Now, let's talk about that, shall we? Do you really know what Democrats are for? Do you really know what Republicans are for? See, what they did back in the day was something totally different as to what they're doing today. It's not the same. You need to, here's your homework assignment. Here's another homework assignment. I need for you to go and find out where each one of these politicians stands. And you know why they're getting away with what they're getting away with? It's because nobody asked them the questions. Nobody asked them, why are you doing this? What is your intentions for the general people, for the general massive population? See, because I'm not for you throwing that rock and hiding your hand. I ain't got time to play games, folks. Okay? I love me some Linda. Understand that. And I'm gonna defend at whatever cost when it comes to my people, my family, and whoever I'm concerned with. So you need to find out before any election needs to come about. You need to find out, where does these people stand? What is it that they think that they can do for us that we can't do for ourselves? Why do we need you? Explain that to me. Somebody need to go and ask these questions, because you're coming up with an election. You're coming up with an election. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have Donald Trump that's making up, he's going to continue to do whatever it is that he's doing. And then you're going to have Joe Biden, who's going to make all these promises about what he wants to do and what he wants to change. Okay, I'm going to be very blunt with you. People, you ought to get tired of being kicked in the behind. You need to be tired of that. So, what I need for you guys to do, this is a homework assignment. I need for you to find out for your own self. Don't do it for me. I don't need you to do it for me. I need for you to do it for you and for your family, the people that you care about. Do it for them, because that's who's important to you. I need for you to find out where these so-called political people stand. And not only that, see, back in the day, back in what I call old school, we used to do everything, we used to put everything in writing. You see, you need to get these so-called politicians, put their stuff in writing and hold them to it. That's what you need to do. See, that's what used to work out. See, let me tell you, I'm not too crazy about either one of them. I'm gonna be real about it, because I give less than a damn about who. I'm just gonna be real about it, because from what I've seen, neither one of them are worthy of a vote. I'm keeping it real. Neither one of them is worthy of a vote. Now, this goes back to a song that was made by Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers had a song that says, called The Gambler. Know when to hold, when to fold, when to walk away, and when to run. Folks, right now, here we are in September of 2020. Everybody needs to go on strike before they cast a vote. Nobody should be voting at all. Oh, how dare you say that, Linda? Why would you say that? I'm saying it because it's the truth, people. We have the power in our hands right now. We have the power to say, no, what you are doing is not going to continue. And the way you do that, and the way that our voice is going to be heard, is by saying no until you get this shit in order. And get it in order now. Don't wait until somebody has already been assigned into office. No, you get it straight now. Let's deal with these issues now. Stop playing around with this. Playtime is over. Now, people are saying, oh, we can't. We gotta vote. Okay. Yeah, you might have to vote. But your vote is what's going to get you what we need as a people. That's if we hold on to that vote and say, no, wait a minute, player. Wait a minute, hold them up. We're gonna put you on lockdown. Cause see, you done locked us, you done had us in quarantine over a goddamn cold. And I'm still saying you need to sit your ass down. Grandma, Big Mama has spoken. I'm telling you, you need to sit your ass down. It's time for everybody to start activating the thought process. It's time to get busy, folks. We don't give them a vote until we get what we want. That's how that works. You don't give them a vote. I don't care who you're voting for. I don't care whether it's Donald Trump or Donald Duck. You don't give them what they want until they give us what we want. That's how that works. How many people is bold enough to stand up and say, we ain't going to the poll. We're going to the poll. We want you to answer on what you want to do about George Floyd's situation. That's part of that elephant. What you gonna do about Breonna Taylor situation? What you gonna do about all of these people that has been killed? Black people that has been killed. Now, if there's been white people that has been killed, I don't know nothing about it. I haven't been following that. I've only been following my people being killed. So, the white people, whoever want to represent the white people, need to stand up for them. But for what I'm saying, we got this on this elephant is in this room, folks. I'm through playing games with you. And we need to stop playing games with them. And all of this protesting, that is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Back in the 60s, they did it for a reason, to help to get results. You need to know when you're supposed to protest. It's not time to protest. We got to first get our foundation in order before we can talk about protesting. And all of you people out there that's doing the robbing and the looting, we're not claiming you. Okay? You're not, matter of fact, we're throwing you out of the family. You're not part of our family. Because see, black people, we are the most intelligent people on the face of this earth. We got enough sense to know when to do something and when not to do it. And right now, we don't need to be protesting. What we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, we need to be at our house or home, wherever you stay, whoever you stay with. You need to be having that paper and that pen, writing down your concerns. And I want you to email me your concerns. because I'm going to put it together. I'm going to bring it all together. I want to know what your concerns are, and then I'm going to match it up with my concerns. And then we're going to turn that paper into something. Okay? We're gonna make it known to them. We're not playing. We ain't got to go outside acting a damn fool. We ain't got to go outside. We ain't got to be up there trying to hurt people or trying to kill people. We don't need. That's not us. And you're not gonna put that on us. Black people act like we have some type of intelligence, and guess what? We do. God has brought us here. God had put us here 4,000 years ago before white people ever stepped on the face of this earth. And that's another thing the media don't want you to know. Huh? How is it that God wanted us to be here before the white people and nobody wants to talk about it? Well, I'm talking about it. I'm going to be Big Mama, TT, and whoever else I need to be in order for y'all to understand where I'm coming from. Because I'm not playing with you. You know, I don't like the fact that I got to be, every time I go to a building, somebody trying to take my temperature. Nigga, you ain't my doctor. I don't need you to be taking my temperature when I know that you plan on doing wrong. You know you don't have no good intentions. I have lost, ladies and gentlemen, I have lost 2 dogs. Two beautiful dogs. I had a Rottweiler and I had a bulldog, French bulldog. My 2 dogs got their lives taken from them because of the chip that was planted in their forehead. And the vaccination that they gave them killed them instantaneously within, 6 months apart? 6 months to 10 months apart of the same thing, 2 healthy animals. They already done this to our pets. Now they want to do it to our humans. They want to do it to humans. Wake up, people. Because this is not going to go away until we make it go away. Stop playing around with it. Stop going out there. Stop going out there marching. It's not time to march. Stop making a mockery of what Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X has set for us. It's not funny. You need to sit your ass down. Now, we need to get to some type of order before it's too late. That's the reason why in my prayer, and I tell you in your prayer, for every prayer that you pray, you ask God to say, I rebuke Satan in the name of Jesus. The people who are making these chips for human beings need to be rebuked in the name of Jesus. Don't play with it, folks. This is not to be played with. I'm here to tell you. Now, I'm going to say this again, and then I'm going to move on to my next part of this presentation for this evening. We need to hold on to our votes. Do not vote for no one until our needs have been met. They need to do something with these police officers. They have to do something. Because these are my people that they're killing. See, if it was the white people that they were killing, they don't talk about that. Even if they're doing it at all. I don't care. Look, I don't care what you do with yours. But when you start killing my people, I got a problem with that. I can't sit still for that. Because I'll be quick to tell you to kiss my ass and keep it moving. I'm not going to play with you. I'm not going to sit up here and act like what you're doing is not affecting me. It affects me. And I'm tired. No, let me take that back. I'm not just tired. I'm fed up. Yes, I am. Now, we either gonna do this together, or we're gonna let these people walk all over us. You make the choice. I'm gonna educate you for the next 6 weeks. You can take it, knock it up against the wall. I don't care what you do with it, but I'm gonna provide it to you for the next 6 weeks. You ain't got to like me, but understand where I'm coming from. Because I don't want to have to come back to this. I like nothing better than to be on stage trying to sing me some music, make some music, do something positive. I'm sick of the rhetoric. Okay? I'm sick. I'm fed up. And I don't even lie to you. There's a couple of white people I would love to beat their ass. Because their ass need to be beat. But we have to maintain, ladies and gentlemen. We got to maintain. We got to keep our cool. It ain't time to act a fool. Not yet. And we know we got some black people that would love to get out there and start blazing. But it's not time for that. It's not time for that. Let us build up this foundation, and then let's let this thing run its course. Okay? Let's do that. Let's promise to come together and start working on all of these problems so we can go back to our normal lives and what we normally do. Because I don't know about you. I love me some me. And I love my family. And I don't like the fact that I can't see my family because of this social distancing and all this rip in the road. This is not what I was raised from. And I'm pretty sure somebody else wasn't raised from this either. Now, police violence. I'm moving on with my topics because I want to get all the information in for tonight. I got 2 more. Yeah, looking for my script here. I got 2 more topics that I have to address, and then I'm going to close it out. And I will be back next week, same time, ready to see if anybody done some homework. I want to know if you've done your homework. Because, like I said again, we're in this together. And I'm pretty sure you about as just as tired and fed up as I am. Now, police violence. I have a lot of experience working side by side with the police department. Matter of fact, I did almost a decade, maybe a decade. I think I did a decade of working with the Chicago Police Department when Terry Hillard was the superintendent at the time. I sat on the board of directors. I talked to the gang members. I had them to put down their guns. We came to a positive solution. And I think I need to apply this now. I need to bring this back up with the rest of the world. If my experience can help you, that's my goal, is to help. So I can't be responsible for how many people see it or don't see it. But I'm putting myself out there and I'm letting you use my experience to help you to bring it to your community to have a positive result. Now, I was part of the Chicago community. Like I said before, I was part of the Chicago community policing. I was the navigator and the negotiator between the community side and the police side. The police had a problem with wanting the community to know what it is they could do for them, and vice versa. The community was saying, "Well, we don't really trust the police department." And I was the negotiator. I was the person that everybody came to. Everybody came to me to say, okay, Linda, this is what's going on. This is what we're trying to accomplish. How do we bring this to a positive close? If you go back in the history of time, I was part of that history, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back about it. It's just that it was what it was during the time that I had to be a part of it. Um, the police, they wanted to let the community know that they were there for the right reasons at that particular time. We didn't have this type of mess that we got now where police officers are stopping you for BS reasons. Um, it was more like if you didn't live in that area, you could not see the gang. See, that's another thing about what I've heard from the president. You know, you're classifying gang members as thugs. Gang members are not thugs, at least not the ones back when I was coming up. When I was coming up, they were protecting everybody who lived in that area, their mothers, their aunts, their family, whoever. These gangs of today, I don't know what their agenda is. So I haven't talked to them, don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Maybe they're still doing the same concept that they did back in the 80s or 70s. I don't know. I haven't talked to them. But I do know that anytime there has been an issue with community issues, they would always ring my phone to bring some type of common peace to both sides of the coin because I can talk the street talk on one end of the spectrum and I can talk the business talk on the other end of the spectrum. So we had a positive outcome for about 10 years until I moved out of Chicago and I moved someplace else. So I want to talk about how to deal with police and police brutality. I got many stories that I can share. Don't get it twisted. I had those same problems too over the years, but I handled it in a dignified way. See, you can't go and jump up in these people's face and tell them, oh, you're raising all kind of sayings and stuff, and then turn around and expect them to respect you. See, it's a two sides to everything. Okay, it's two sides to everything. Now, I'm not saying that how they're handling is right, and I'm not going to say that it's wrong. I'm just going to tell you what I used in order for it to go in a positive direction. I'm going to share some stories with you. I can remember the first time when I came to Rockford, and I was tired of the hustle and bustle of Chicago, even though I was born and raised in Chicago. I love Chicago for many reasons, but I wanted to get away from the big city life. I wanted to get something on a little more of a plain scale. So I moved to Rockford about 15 years ago. And the very first time I was approached by an officer, he comes to my apartment building because we were having the drug dealings and stuff on the second floor of that apartment complex. So he comes down to me because I called the police, and then the white officer that saw that I was a black woman, he says, "Who are you and what are you doing here? You need to go back where you came from." And so I looked at him. I said, "Now I know that this man is insulting me, but I'm gonna be a bigger person." I said, "What do you mean where I come from? I come from Chicago, Illinois. That's where I come from. My parents is part Mississippi and part Philadelphia, but I was born in Chicago." So I told him, I said, "Sir, you need to be on your business as to why you coming into this apartment building. I think you need to be watching the second floor upstairs as they're transporting the drugs in and out of this apartment building and not be concerned about what's going on in my apartment because I'm the one that called you. So, you know, he was just floored at the fact that I challenged his so-called authority. So with that situation, he left because he was like trying to get information. He was trying to blame me or blame my household for what was going on the second floor. And said, and he made this very racial comment. Oh, well, you're black. I would expect you to be doing drugs because that's what black people do. Black people just, they don't have nothing else better to do than do drugs. So, okay, like I say, two wrongs don't make a right. So I made out my report. I said, okay, you know, give them let them have what they want to have and keep it moving. Second situation with an incident here, I was driving. This is funny. Everybody loves this story when I share this story. I was driving down into a town called McChesney Park here in Rockford. I was going to an appointment or something that was going on down there. And so all of a sudden, I get the man in my rear view mirror coming up saying, rear, okay, pull over. Now, keep in mind, a white female just passed me doing 50 miles per hour in a 35-mile-hour zone with no clothes on. She had her chest hanging out the window and just flying by. And he didn't say nothing about that, but he decided that he was going to pull me over, right? So I said, oh, okay, here we go again, huh? Okay, what you want? So I'm being cool, I'm being calm, cool, and collective. I said, how are you? You know, see, you gotta wear a poker face. Even though I'm looking at this maggot, Summerall, SOB, I'm looking at this maggot because he's a maggot. I hate to say this, but all officers are maggots to me. That's just my personal opinion. Doesn't really, they could be black or white, it doesn't matter. Anybody that wears a uniform, a police uniform, to me is a maggot. So anyway, but he didn't know how I felt about him. He stopped me and says, license and registration, please. I said, for what? I said, did my car run over somebody? Was my car involved with an accident or something? What do you know? I'm getting hysterical. I'm playing the game. If I should have had an Academy Award for my acting skills that day. I said, did my car hit somebody? He says, no, ma'am. I said, well, okay, sir, if you don't mind me, you know, I want to be as accommodating as I possibly can. Why did you pull me over again? He said, I pulled you over because you were speeding. I was speeding? I said, okay, all right, I was speeding. And before he could get a chance to ask me for my identification again, I stopped him in midstream. I said, excuse me, officer, can you tell me what is your insurance bond number? He stopped, he backed up from the car. He looked at me, he came a little closer to make sure that he heard what he heard that I said. I said, yes, I need to know what is the number of your insurance bond company phone number. He says, ma'am, I'm not arresting you. I said, sir, I ain't worried about you arresting me. I'm asking you for your insurance card number in the event that you fraudulently pulled me over for some unselfish foolishness. And I need to contact your bond department because if you pulled me over for a fraudulent stop, I need to get paid from this stop. That's what I need to do because I understand that government holds an insurance bond over your head when you stop a person fraudulently. Is that not correct? And so He backed up. He said, "Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna give you this ticket, and you can go on your way." Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And then so I said, I'm like, you can do whatever you feel you need to do, but hold them up. Because I want to be fair with this matter. So I told him, I said, I'll tell you what, we will negotiate this problem, okay? He said, what do you mean negotiate? I said, I tell you what, I will pay your ticket if you pay my ticket. He said, what? What do you mean pay your ticket? I said, no. See, this is what we need to do to resolve this problem. You need to write yourself a ticket for you writing me a ticket. See, you said that I was 5 miles over the speed limit, but you had to go 10 miles an hour over the speed limit to catch up with my 5 miles an hour. So you need to give yourself a ticket. So when you pay your ticket, I'll pay my ticket. Huh? What? Don't play with Big Mama. Cause I had your ass. So then he throws the ticket in the window and he spun off. I said, oh, maybe he didn't want to see my identification. Don't play with me. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. I may have been born at night. I wasn't born last night. Huh? What? Huh. Another situation where the officer thought they had one. I was at the park over here by the lake over here in Rockford. And we were playing volleyball in the park. So, when you're playing volleyball, you get a little loud and people are screaming and whatever else. And all of a sudden, we get a Karen. Okay, Karen decides that she gonna go and call the police. She gonna go and call the police because black people are out there playing ball. So she said, "Oh, Mr. Officer, they're making too much noise." And so all of a sudden, all we see, we're playing ball in the park. All we see is officers pulling up all the way around the park. I said, "Now, what in the world is going on?" We're looking around to see, did we see anybody running or chasing somebody? We didn't see nothing. It was just us out there playing ball. So then the man calls us over. He said, excuse me, can y'all come over here for a minute? Can you stop playing ball? I said, okay, we're going to go over here and see what this monkey mess is about. So he says, we got a complaint from someone that says that you guys are you and your type of people is making too much racket in playing ball. I said, oh, really? So this is where you start to pretend like you want to play crazy a little bit because you already know they're crazy. And I'm gonna get on that in a minute too. He says, you guys are making way too much noise. He said, you people are making way too much noise for you to be out here playing ball. I says, well, is there a noise ordinance that you're trying to talk about or something? He says, no, this lady says that, she's trying to sleep and you're making too much racket for her because her house is across the street from the park. I said, oh, okay. All right. I was very calm. I was cool. I was collective. I wasn't going to give him what he thought he was going to get from me. I wasn't going to act a fool. I was going to say, oh, okay, agree with him. So then then here comes the man saying, I need to see your license and registration. I said, sir, there is no license or registration to play ball. Did I miss the memo? Where they do that at? So then he says, I need to see who you are. I said, okay, well, I wish I could accommodate you, but I really can't accommodate you right now because my driver's license and my ID is on my bedroom table. Would you like to walk 3 blocks down to where I went to the apartment building? We can get it together. He says, oh, no, 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 no. No. We'll just have to take your word for it. So then, now the guy who I was with at the time, his name was Tyrone. Tyrone wants to make a point. Okay. I'm standing up there telling Tyrone, don't give them nothing. You nada. So Tyrone sits up there and say, oh, Mr. Police Officer, here's my ID. Here's my ID, partner. So I said, Tyrone, you are such a dumbass. You do not give these people what they ask for until they give you what you need to ask for. First of all, why would you need to give them a driver's license if you wasn't driving anything? We out here playing ball, dumbass. So then he says, here's my ID. They go back, and let me tell you something else, ladies and gentlemen. The police has the right to go back to their computer screen and draw up a fake warrant. Yes, that's the reason why they ask you for your ID, so they can trick you and get the numbers off there and place it in a warrant and come back and tell you so they can arrest your ass. Okay, you better get wise. So all of a sudden, Tyrone gives him the ID. He says, oh, sure, Mr. Officer, because I want to upstand the law. He gives him the ID and then says, he said, we go back and I said, Tyrone, you have messed up, player. You should have asked him for an insurance bond card. And that way he would have gotten off your ass about asking about that ID. But no, Tyrone wanted to do it his own way. Hard-headed. Everybody else didn't give up their ID, but Tyrone did. So the officer goes back, types in his number, and places it with a warrant. What they call an outside warrant. Mm-hmm. So Tyrone, they told Tyrone to stand over there so they could cuff him. He said, wait a minute, what's up, boy? Wait a minute, play it, back him up. Wait a minute. I call myself doing right by you. Huh. He says, no, we got a warrant out for you. Oh, how did that come about, Tyrone? When I told you not to give them nothing. They have the power to make out a warrant right there in their vehicle. All they got to do is transfer the information over from your driver's license. That's all they got to do. And that's what they did. That's what they did. They took his ass right on to jail. And he come calling me, can you help me to get out? No. I sure can't. I ain't got no money, son. When you're dealing with the police, you need to learn how to lie. Don't be confrontational. You need to learn how to lie. Like, let me tell you something, folks. I had my driver's license and my work employee ID right there in my pocket, but I was not going to give them what they asked for so they can have a reason to carry my black ass off to nowhere. What I did was I didn't disagree with them. What I told them, I said, no, you know what, sir? My information is 3 blocks down. Would you like to go with me so I can help you? No, you can't move from that spot, folks. You got to learn how to play the game and play the game well. You get what I'm saying to you? You don't be confrontational. If they ask you for your driver's license or a state ID, throw them off. What you do? You throw them off and say, okay, sir, I want to make this a positive situation. Okay. Before I give you my information, even though I have no plans on giving them nothing, before I give you my information, I need to have your insurance bond number. I need you to have a card with that information on. Can you provide me with that? And he's going to look at you real crazy because you ain't supposed to know this. You're not supposed to know this type of information. So he was like, no, you're not the person who we're looking for. They will get off of you real quick. You do not have to make it a confrontational situation. You know for a fact that you're not going to give them your driver's license or your ID. What you need to do is fake it. That's what you need to do. They're going to lie to you, so why not lie to them? Think about it. Now, another thing I'm going to share with you. When you're driving in your car, I'm going to tell you how my car is designed. Okay. I have a tracker in both my vehicles. Okay. I have a tracker that tells me where my car is at all point in time if I'm not in it. I also have, there is about 87 different places in a car that you can hide a camera. All day. So not only do I have a tracker in my car, in both my cars, I have cameras all in my cars. I got a camera under the hood. I got a camera by the tires. I got cameras where you don't even think a camera could fit. I invested money in making damn sure that if you gonna be on some monkey ball bull crap, Linda ain't gonna go down without a fight. I'm not talking about fist fights. See, I'm gonna hit you with the knowledge in my head. I ain't got to fight you on any other level. Believe that. I ain't got to be belligerent. I ain't got to be indignant because I'm gonna outsmart your ass every time you bring me some bullshit. I'm gonna give you what the devil won't get, and that's you gonna want to get the hell away from me. You feel me? Now, another thing I keep in my car is wired to where I can pull it up on my computer at the house, whatever angle. I got it where this is what's going down, folks, because they don't care about you. You know, they don't care about you. They're out there doing what they want to do because they want to do it and because nobody has stopped them yet. That's the key word here. Yet. So, in my car, on my dashboard, I got the Eternal Affairs number. See, this is where you go wrong at, folks. When you get stopped, start number first. And then ask them, are they registered with their Eternal Affairs? Now, if you got somebody riding with somebody, you need to have that person writing down that information. You need to get that. If they don't have a number posted on their chest, then that's 9 times out of 10, they changes each other's clothing. They switch up with their partner. Their partner may be wearing their jacket and somebody else may be wearing their shirt. I found this out in the scheme of things. So I'm sharing this information with you. You need to know this. You need to know how to play the game against the devil because they are devils. Now, when you find out that they don't have a number on their chest, you say, officer, you know what? I really want to accommodate you. I really do. But before I can accommodate you, I need for you to give me some information. Is your number and your registration, are you registered with the Eternal Affairs for police officers? Uh-oh. They didn't want you to know that. Back them up, son. What? Come on with the answers. I want to know. Are you registered with the Internal Affairs as to be for you to be a police officer? It's a simple question. It's a simple question. Now, they're either gonna get real nervous and back up off of you because you're an intelligent person and driving. And when they tell you, oh, we're stopping you because you've been sitting in this lane too long. Oh, I didn't know I was. Whatever the stupid ass reason is, you tell them to say, act like you are just behooved. You so behooved, you're like, wow, is that right? Is that what you pulled me over for? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, can you explain something to me, Mr. Officer? And you want to say it in a very, very calm, cool, and collective way. Don't scream, y'all. Don't go out there and say, let me tell you what, and don't stick don't stick out your chest and act all bad and start talking about the amendment and this right and that right. Don't do that. See, what you need to do is start at the top and work your way down to the bottom. Because the Internal Affairs is just like the United States Marshal over judges. Mm-hmm. See, they are in charge. They will tell you if that's a registered officer that is carrying a registered gun. Because guess what, folks? There are some officers out there that's not really police officers. Mm-hmm. And some of them are not even registered, and their guns are not registered. So you need to be carrying the Internal Affairs phone number on your dashboard and place a call and tell them that you have an officer that you need to check out because you are in fear of your life. You don't know if this man is for real or not for real. See, they have to register those guns that they carry, and they have to have a sign somewhere on their physical body to tell you that they are a real police officer. Mm-hmm. So before you start getting all crazy with them, don't get crazy with them. Don't get crazy with them. Because let me tell you another thing. And this is what I also found out. I found out that 47% of the officers in the United States today is mentally ill. Mm-hmm. See, back in the 70s, officers used to have to pass a test. They used to have to pass a psychiatric test before they are put on the street and dealing with people. Now, every time you get stopped by an officer, you need to treat them as if they're crazy, like they're mentally ill, like they haven't taken their medicine for the day. We need to go back to having that to be a part of their police file. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to share with you, and that's just a little bit of the information that I have for you in reference to how to deal with the police officers, the bad police officers. You got to hit them where it hurts, and that's with knowledge. And you need to have paper and pen planted in your car. It don't cost a whole lot of money to have paper and pen, folks. Have it in your car, ready to write down information. And then when you ask them for their insurance bond number of the Internal Affairs for the police department, watch them jump back and look at you differently. Because you are now an educated driver and consumer. Okay. Now, with that being said, you know that the officers have not passed an evaluation test of their psyche. Mm-hmm. They're mentally ill. And then those mentally ill officers are passed on to becoming judges. And they're passed on to becoming sheriffs. See, it's passed on down all the way to their so-called courtroom. But if you don't nip, see, this is what I'm telling you. If you don't get it and nip it in the bud, Nip it in the bud at the root. Stop dangling with all of the trees and leaves. Get to the root of the problem. I want you guys to do this homework. I want you to do your homework because I'm going to come with you with some more knowledge as you continue to follow me and listen to me over these next 6 weeks. Now, I have shared with you my personal experiences. I've shared with you what I have found out behind the scenes. I have been stopped too on crazy stuff. But when I throw it back in their face, they back up off me. They're like, oh no, she too smart for her own good. I'm trying to tell you, this is what Big Mama know. Big Mama ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up for tonight. And I want you to share a copy of this video with all of your friends, family, whoever, because people, I care about you. I've been on both sides of that coin. I've been on the side where I work directly with the police departments. I've been on that side as being a passenger in my own vehicle. See, my vehicle is equipped. I ain't got time to play games with you. So when you start messing around with mines, I got 25 copies that I'm showing to somebody by the end of the day. Oh, and another thing before I close it out. I want you to know, each officer, government has an insurance bond up to $2 million off of each officer, and $5 million for insurance on a fraudulent judge. So when you are done wrong or incorrect, you need to have all of your documentation in order. Make copies of it. Give copies to your friends to hold. Give it to people who you trust with that type of information. And then handle your business. Now, I'm not saying that we should all just be focusing on getting money from them. I'm not saying that. But what I am telling you is that they got money already up in place for when officers do some crazy off the wall stuff. And you need to be educated, my people. Whether you're black, white, I don't care what color you are. You need to be educated and know what you can and cannot do when you're out there in these streets trying to defend yourself. I want you to defend yourself the right way. Don't go out there acting crazy and get yourself, when they want to have to draw their guns or break into your car or whatever else that they're trying to do. It's a way to handle, tell you. And we all know that these officers ain't worth two hoops, and they worth 2 hoops in hell rubbed between 2 wooden nickels. They ain't worth a damn. But I want you to start treating them as if they got mental issues, because they do. 47%. That means one out of every 4th officer is crazy as hell. They crazy as hell. And then they got the audacity to pass them and give them a gun. And then you're going to find out that some of the guns that they're carrying on their hip is not even registered. Ooh. Now, wouldn't you like to know that? See, the internal affairs for the police department is going to give you all the information that you need about that county and about who is the sheriff, who is in charge. You don't go in there asking to see their supervisor, because their supervisor could be a crook. No, you start your way at the top and let the internal affairs help you to work your way down and finding out who everybody is on that police force. That's what you need to do. Now, I didn't say it my piece for this evening. I didn't talk myself to death. And I'm going to, I have a book. Matter of fact, I got 4 books. But one of my books is to help the community and people to take positive ways of dealing with bad officers. It's called New Justice, New Peace, Series 4000. Email me at ATOR class 101 at gmail.com and get your free copy, because I want you to have this information. I want you to carry this information with you. I want you to be safe. I want you to practice rebuking these people in the name of Jesus and watch these devils flee. They can't touch you. They can't put their hands on you because their arms are too short to box with God. If you are into Jesus and you believe that there's a higher being, God has you. He has you in the palm of his hands, and he ain't going nowhere. He has never failed me. And I don't care about how many people tell me that they don't believe. That's on you. But Linda is going to always believe. And I'm going to give you some more experience and knowledge over these next 6 weeks. I need you to tune in the same time, same place on YouTube with the Linda Evans Queen of Radio channel. Also, later on my channel, I'll be talking about the band, because everybody has been asking me about, where's the band? When you guys going to play? Well, the band will be playing again next year. We're taking a break. We're going to come back with a lot of new material and new stuff, or not really new, but other cover songs that we just didn't know, before. And we're trying to team up with some other old heads. I call them the old school players. Some of the old school players that are still out there. They're going to team up with us. I'm looking forward to hitting the stage with them and performing. But right now, we need to deal with this problem of the elephant in the room. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I got nothing but love for you, regardless of your race. I want to see you do well. I want you to be a better person. If I have helped you to be a better person, that's all that matters to me. Because you are my family. The same blood that runs out of your vein runs in mine too. And I'm going to always take care of mine. Because like my father used to say, you got to give the people what they need, not what they want. I'm not going to tell you something just to be telling you. I'm telling you because I went through it myself and how I handled the situation. And I want you to take my experiences and apply it to your own situation in your community. Because I can't be in 12 million dozen other places at one time. I can't be there. I wish I could. I wish that I could extend myself that way, but I can't. So I'm going to say a prayer and wish that each and every one of you are safe on your journey. And let's come back here again. Tell your friends. That I'm only going to be here for seven lessons. I'm only going to give you 7 lessons now. Once that's over with, then I'm going back to my life with my music and my band and my writing. This is only for a short time. So I'm going to bid you all peace, love, and you know how I do. I say, deuces. This is Linda Evans, Queen of Radio, giving it to you the way it's supposed to be done. Good night.